Hello and welcome to Take Time. I am your host, Patrick Marlette, and today we're talking about leather roll bags, that is. And these come in a variety of different materials, but leather is the most common. And today I'm featuring a suede leather 6-slot roll bag from the watch Hipster. And in case you guys don't know, in the big wide world of review channels here on YouTube, the watch Hipster is another channel that features accessories and watches in review over on his channel. And I'll leave a link in the description so you can view any of his work. And also I'll leave a link to his website so you could purchase one of these should you choose, and or just read up on the item in question today. Now, second only to watch straps as an accessory to complete your experience as a collector, I think the next most important thing you need, other than a variety of options to wear your watches on, is a nice roll bag to store all of your watches in. You know, you can get away without one if you have a collection that ranges from 2 to 3 watches, or if you're just a one watch guy, you probably don't need a roll bag. However, if you have 4 or more watches, it's one of those things that becomes an essential for you. And maybe you don't want one of those, display cases that you put on top of your dresser drawer in the bedroom. Maybe you want something that will allow you to store your watches out of sight and out of mind. I know I do, so I actually keep a lot of roll bags for all of the items I have in rotation, but roll bags are essential. So expect to see more roll bag reviews here on the channel. I'm always open to hear about any new products you guys have heard about, but the watch Hipster reached out to me to talk about his suede roll bag, and I was more than happy to take a look at it. But as with all of my reviews here over on the channel, I like to start with the bad and then move on to the good before giving my final verdict of a review item. So starting with the bad, and you can see it right off the top, the literal top of this bag, is the fact that these 6-slot roll bags only come in one scale and one size. You're only ever going to get the 6-slot bag, and you're only ever going to get the one size. There isn't a larger length you can purchase to fit watches that have longer straps, nor does the solo option they offer now allow you to purchase a roll bag that will fit all of your watches comfortably. And this is sort of a big bad note for me. Aside from just wanting to stow watches away, roll bags are generally used for traveling purposes, and I'm not a fan of how this case holds some of my watches. A couple of slots right off the bat where my watches do fit comfortably. I have a bracelet on my Seiko Bellmatic, and this is my Seiko SRP 775 Turtle on that MN strap. But as we move along, you'll notice that the case just isn't tall enough to fit all of your options. And I found that rubber and leather and nylon, some will fit and some won't fit. If you have longer straps, I have a 7¼ wrist, so my straps are fairly long. Longer straps aren't going to fit in here comfortably, and not under the folds of this leather enclosure up top. And part of the reason why that's there is to not only protect the buckles on a more expensive watch you might own, but also to make sure your watch doesn't dislodge and slip out of the case. Now, that is a very small off-chance scenario, but it would provide a sense of comfort if my watches fit securely inside that fold. Unfortunately, a majority of my watches did not, and I think the size is something that needs to be revisited on these roll bags in the future. Whatever the cost, I think you just need to extend the amount of leather used and or come up with a different way of creating the bag that would allow you to fit a variety of straps under here more comfortably. And the problem here with a nylon strap like this is that it's not gonna comfortably fold in under here unless I have it curled up like so. And then, it's creating a lot of bulk in that one slot area where I'm trying to fit 6 other watches in. So you're gonna have this thing that looks like some sort of pumpkin cream roll that you might get on Thanksgiving to take to your grandma's place. It just rolls out into this massive bag that is not as compact as you would want it to be. So rolling up the nylon of your strap inside that interior flap is not a great way of going about this. And for leather straps, well, this is my King Seiko, and it just barely makes it in there. And there's no nice or comfortable way, again, to have it folded in there unless I bend the leather itself to go under there. And again, it's creating excess bulk. I don't want to do that. Now you can get away with just having this, again, shoot over the top, but if the buckle on that was an authentic 60s King Seiko buckle, I probably don't want that exposed in my carry-on or a bag I'm traveling with. I would probably want that under the flap. So again, a little problematic there. Same issue with this rubber strap here. You know, the buckle, again, could likely just be folded down, but again, it's going to create excess bulk because, as I tried with this one, it does indeed. This is one of those Barden straps. Oh my gosh, my buckle's gone. Whew, okay, crisis averted there. If you're using a Barden strap, it's not going to fit comfortably. And same thing with my leather NATO at the end, that Fluco strap. That one's a little bit more supple than the nylon options I have with those thick metal rings. It doesn't create as much bulk. I can fold that one in under, but again, height needs to be revisited. Now with the roll bag neatly secured, it doesn't take up that much space. Luckily, it's actually a quite compact roll bag for its scale, it being a 6-slot watch roll bag, and that's indebted to the thinner pieces of suede used into its construction. So I think it's secure enough and will hold up if you're traveling. I think it's also good use for storage. The other major bad note I have about this roll bag is its cost. Now, I have a 6-slot roll bag that is sort of the gold standard for me. I think it's well built, handmade here in the US, and it was under $50. It's a sub $50 roll bag. I've used this thing for years. I really do like it. Held up perfectly. This is a 6-slotter, new to the market, suede. Relatively thin leather, but it does hold up well. Nice, rugged, decent strap to cinch the bag down. But it's marketed at $100. I think if you chop that price down a little bit, made it more palatable for new consumers, perhaps people watching your videos that are interested in getting into this hobby, it would be a better option, especially with all of the competition that's out there doing the same thing. I think $65 would be the best asking price for this. It is a nice, soft suede leather material. It does a good job of holding watches that are 45 millimeters in diameter and under. I'd say 46 is pushing it. The slots are wide enough for that, but I wouldn't want to put too much stress on those pockets. But the fact that it doesn't fit all watches well, and it's a high asking price might deter new customers from purchasing it, especially because this is your first offering. I definitely recommend a little bit of a price drop to make these more palatable, and that is a major bad note for me because I can see that being really hard for someone to swallow if they're interested in getting into a new company's roll bag. But on that slot size note, I'm going to start with my good notes here. The slot sizes are perfect for pretty much every watch in my collection. Despite whether the strap fits in the roll bag neatly or not, my watches all did, and that's fantastic. So I know that this will work with I don't even know how many watches I have at this point, but I tried all of them. They all fit in here well. I think I have over 12 watches at this point. Probably 12. They all fit these slots well, so I think the slot size is perfect to accommodate most watch collections, the average watch size, so good choice on the spacing here. Despite the height being an issue for me, I think the overall scale of this bag is great for travel. As a matter of fact, if you were to just stow 3 watches in here and a few spare straps, this would likely fit in your coat pocket quite easily and neatly inside of it. So I think the overall scale of this watch bag is great. I think as you move down the line, it would be good to introduce different sizing options for people with slightly larger wrists like myself. I found that most of the leather straps that I've purchased I've had cut at longer lengths. So like the King Seikos here, it just did not fit the bag as well as I'd hoped. Otherwise, it is good for travel due to the dimensions. Also, the use of suede was great in this instance. Suede is nice and soft leather. I feel very secure putting my watches in this roll bag. I'm not too concerned about them getting damaged whilst traveling in here because the material is so soft on the watch surface. So, that was never really a major concern of mine. And here is an example of a larger watch fitting inside one of these slots. And again, I feel really comfortable having that in there. What's also nice is that suede is basically unfinished leather. However, it's not tethering. Sometimes I'll have raw leather bags that I'll pull my items out and there's like little bits and pieces of debris or particulates on that item. I haven't had that issue here, so the finishing and detailing of these bags is actually quite nice. Also, I feel pretty comfortable with the overall construction of this bag. I think the thread work is nice and sturdy. Despite being a single pass construction, it's held up very well, and I've been using this for a little while now with multiple watches in it, so only time will tell how well it holds up, but for the meantime, it's been a little over a month. It's working quite well. Again, the only real bad note I think that needs to be considered here is the pricing. Bring it down to $65, $70. I think it would be much more palatable for most consumers. And, I'll let my audience answer you here as well. What do you guys think is a reasonable rate for a modern roll bag, a 6-slotter? A lot of the smaller options like the 4 and 3 slot bags cost less, and that's because there's less material used in the construction. What do you find to be a better rate for a roll bag? I'm curious as to what you guys think. Feel free to leave any of those thoughts in the comment section down below. But personally, I think if this was just a little less, it would be a great bargain for most consumers looking to get a roll bag for a growing or larger collection. At any rate, gang, if you found this video enlightening or in the least entertaining, feel free to hit that like button. It looks a little something like this guy. If you have friends, forums, or groups that are interested in picking up a roll bag for their budding or just overly large collection of watches for use in storage or travel, feel free to share this video with them. I think this is a great example of a well-made bag. I think just increase the height a little bit and lower the price a little bit, and you're going to have an extremely compelling offering that's competitive on the market. But again, guys, if you know someone who's looking for a decent roll bag, feel free to share this video, and of course, suggest any roll bags or brands rather that create roll bags you enjoy, because I'd love to check them out and feature them here on the channel. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I do videos like this twice a week, so if you enjoy watch-based content, you want to hear more about accessories that you can use with your items, roll bags now, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I've got another roll bag I'm going to be featuring shortly that I'm very excited to share with you guys, but until then, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and next to that, if you want to see when those videos precisely air, you can hit the bell icon, and that will alert you as to when my videos hit the web. Again, my name is Patrick Marlette, and thank you for the time.